Last year was truly a defining chapter for Prince Harry, and when you step back and look at the full picture, it becomes clear just how much resilience, strength and quiet determination he showed through every high and low. This was not a year of retreat or defeat. It was a year of growth recalibration and laying foundations for something better ahead for both Harry and Meghan. On the high side, there is no ignoring the powerful success of the Invictus Games in Canada. Once again, Harry proved why this project is so close to his heart and why it remains one of the most respected initiatives associated with him. The Games were not just well run, they were deeply emotional, inspiring and impactful. Veterans from around the world were celebrated with dignity and respect, and the global response reinforced the fact that Harry's vision continues to matter. Invictus is living proof that when Harry leads with compassion and purpose, the results speak louder than any criticism ever could. His visit to the UK in September also carried more weight than many initially realised. While it may have seemed brief on the surface, it resulted in something many believed would take years or might never happen at all: a reunion with his father, King Charles. That moment alone symbolised a door reopening. It showed that despite the strain, public noise and painful history, the bond between a father and son still exists beneath it all. For Harry, that meeting was not about headlines. It was about family humanity and the possibility of healing. Of course, the year was not without its challenges, and it would be dishonest to pretend otherwise. Harry, stepping away as patron of Centre-Bal, was deeply emotional given his long-standing commitment to the charity and its mission. That decision was clearly not taken lightly, and anyone familiar with Harry knows how strongly he values loyalty and service. Walking away from something so meaningful speaks to the complex pressures he continues to navigate rather than a lack of care. Then there was the disappointment of losing his Court of Appeal case regarding police protection in the UK. This issue has always been about safety, not status. Harry has been very clear that his concerns are rooted in protecting his family, particularly Meghan and their children. The ruling was understandably a blow, but it was not the end of the road, and that distinction matters. Now comes a potentially pivotal development that deserves serious attention. The Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures has instructed its Risk Management Board to reassess Harry's threat level. A decision is expected next month, and this could be a genuine turning point. This reassessment acknowledges what many supporters have said all along, that Harry's circumstances are unique and that risk does not disappear simply because roles change. Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bond summed it up perfectly when she said that 2026 could turn out to be a very good year for Harry. Her words carry weight because they come from someone who understands the institution as well as the human beings inside it. If the security review goes in Harry's favour, it removes a major barrier that has affected not just logistics but emotional connections. Being able to visit the UK more freely and potentially bring his children would be transformative. It would allow Archie and Lilibet to build memories and relationships in their father's homeland without fear overshadowing every visit. That matters not only for Harry, but for King Charles as a grandfather. Jenny Bond also made an important point about how this security issue has complicated Harry's relationship with his father. Physical distance and limited contact make reconciliation far harder. Real healing often happens quietly face-to-face, away from public scrutiny. Harry showing up when possible, fitting into his father's busy schedule and ensuring privacy around any meetings, demonstrates maturity and respect. Her suggestion that Harry write to his father is particularly telling. King Charles is known to value thoughtful correspondence, and letters allow space for reflection, nuance and honesty without interruption. This approach aligns perfectly with Harry's own growth over recent years. It is not about demands or public statements. It is about rebuilding trust, one step at a time. When it comes to Prince William, Jenny Bond was realistic but not dismissive. She acknowledged that reconciliation between siblings can be far more complicated than between a parent and child. Harry has openly said he wants his father and his brother back in his life. That vulnerability deserves recognition. Wanting reconciliation does not mean erasing the past. It means being willing to move forward if the opportunity ever arises. Even if that thaw takes time or never fully comes, it does not define Harry's worth or future. What matters is that he has expressed a willingness for peace rather than conflict. That alone sets him apart from the narrative often imposed on him. Looking ahead, Harry and Meghan have an incredibly full and purposeful 2026 planned. This is where the story shifts from recovery to momentum. Together, they continue to build a life rooted in service, creativity and independence. Their partnership remains one of their greatest strengths, and it is impossible to talk about Harry's journey without recognizing Meghan's role as a supportive and driven force beside him. Their ongoing collaboration with Netflix is a clear example of that shared vision. These projects are not about chasing fame. They are about telling meaningful stories, amplifying underrepresented voices, and producing content with heart. Archewell Productions continues to grow and mature, carving out a space that reflects their values rather than royal expectations. One exciting upcoming project is the adaptation of The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. This choice speaks volumes. It is modern, joyful, romantic, and inclusive. It highlights love and connection rather than tradition and hierarchy. Meghan's influence here is unmistakable, and it showcases her instincts as a producer who understands contemporary audiences. This project also reinforces how far Harry and Meghan have come since stepping away from royal duties. They are not reacting anymore. They are creating. They are shaping their own narrative on their own terms. As we look toward the year ahead, there is a sense of cautious optimism surrounding Harry. The possibility of improved security, the potential for more family contact, and a slate of meaningful professional projects all point to a period of stability and progress. This is not about returning to the past. It is about building something healthier and more sustainable for the future. For supporters of Harry and Meghan, the message is clear. Despite setbacks, they continue to move forward with integrity, compassion, and resilience. Harry remains committed to service, family, and healing. Meghan continues to lead with intelligence, empathy, and quiet confidence. The roller coaster of last year did not derail them. It strengthened them. And, as 2026 unfolds, there is every reason to believe that this chapter will be defined not by loss or conflict, but by growth, reconciliation, where possible, and success on their own terms.